I've lived in almost every form of accommodation this place offers. I love living down in the village with 9 other people. I love living in my little shack while these guys live in their apartment buildings. Best experience ever.
G'day and welcome to Choosing Your Uni. I'm Rob Malicki. Thanks for your company today. I'm on campus at Deakin U with a bunch of awesome students, and we're going to be talking about what it's like to live here on campus in the res, as well as what it's like to study at Deakin. Guys, thanks for your time joining me this afternoon. Oh, and I should say, we're on Wiradjuri country, the Kulin Nation here in Melbourne.
I'm Caitlyn Wright and I'm studying criminology.
I'm Tom Browell. Used to be a science student, now I'm an art student. Majoring in sociology and minoring in digital media.
My name is Vaibhav Kashyap and I study artificial intelligence.
My name is Adyant Modi and I'm studying a double degree in commerce and business analytics.
Perfect, guys. How did you end up at Deakin? Mate, you got the mic. Why don't you start?
I'll be very honest. So I was going for a straight Bachelor of Commerce, like a straight commerce degree, but then business analytics caught my eye. But I was a bit unsure that if I just do a degree in business analytics and I do not enjoy it or something like that, then Deakin offered me like a double degree in both commerce and business analytics. So that was one of the main reasons why I came here.
Nice. That's a good program here from what I understand. The business analytics side, I think,
definitely.
is very strong.
It's like a 4-year program, 1 year extra than the traditional 3-year, but you graduate with 2 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you consider anywhere else before you chose here?
Yes, I'd considered a couple of more universities, like University of Melbourne, University of Sydney as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so they do have a double degree program, but not of this sort, which I was looking for.
So is that what swung it for you? Was the degree program, or was there something else that you were interested in that did it for you? Other than my videos, of course.
Yeah. Apart from the degree program, I would say like the educational experience, like the experience you have on campus studying and working. So Deakin just is pretty flexible, and after coming here in terms of even timetable, I was like, no, I think I made the right choice.
Awesome. Good to hear.
I've always had a passion of technology and mathematics, and I was trying to do something except computer science, and I was researching about artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, and I came up I squared it down to 2 universities in Australia. One was Deakin, because it was the only university that I could find which gives the degree called Bachelors of Artificial Intelligence. And the other one was University of Technology in Sydney.
UTS, yeah, it's a good program up there.
Yeah, they do Bachelors of Computer Science, honours, and majoring in Artificial Intelligence. And the major factor of me coming to Deakin was, one, the degree itself, because it says Artificial Intelligence. So it was a specialized course. And the second was the financial aspect, because UTS is a bit pricey than Deakin. And my first choice was UTS only if I get a scholarship there, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get that, so I came to Deakin, and to be very honest, it was a good choice.
Yeah, awesome. Very different institutions too, so if you haven't been up to Sydney before, and this is particularly for anyone choosing at home, UTS is right in the heart of the city.
Yeah.
You know, very cool, like great experience, but out here is different. You know, got this beautiful big campus. Yeah, very, very different experience.
Yeah, we went to Sydney last trimester, and we saw UTS. We were in front of it. It's like right in front of Central Station in Sydney. It's like 5 minutes away. It's in the heart, as you said, so it's good. Yeah.
It's a spin out, isn't it? Like you go in there and you're like, what, this is university?
Yeah.
A bit like RMIT, isn't it? Like
RMIT.
It is the city. The city is the uni.
Yeah, you just walk past, you're like, oh, this is uni, and this is just another mall or something,
Yeah, perfect. 2 very good very interesting degrees, and you guys are studying different stuff. Tell me about what you're doing and how you ended up here.
Well, I started in a Bachelor of Science, having come from like rural Australia, graduating in Katherine, of all places, in the Northern Territory, and needing to upskill during COVID. I couldn't get a job, and I thought, well, I may as well make this time useful. What did I really enjoy in high school? Came to university, and I was doing really, really good at it, but happened to find passion in other areas and dedicate more time to doing anything other than science. So it literally became a case for, if I continue this, I'm not enjoying it. It's really kind of struggling to push forward. And end up just transferring, and it's been better for me.
What was that? Hang on, let's stay on that, because, you know, I think I think it's one of the best things about going to uni, particularly going to one degree and, you might know what you want to do, in future, but then you find something that interests you and you're able to move into it. So what was that process like for you here at Deakin?
It was a long, arduous one on my side. It was really, really easy from the university side. I pretty much just had to actually make the decision that I wanted to transfer and stop umming and ahhing about it. And as soon as I actually reached out and went, hey, I'm thinking about transferring, how is this process going to work for me? They set it up. And I was a little anxious that it wasn't actually going forward, but it was just such a simple process from their side that, one day I was a science student and now I'm not.
And so what are you specialising in? What's your interest?
Sociology currently, but
What is that for somebody that has never heard of sociology? Doesn't know what
social studies is essentially the easiest way, is taking social phenomena and studying it to understand how that shapes people, which is useful. But I'm also doing digital media, specific social media, and making lots of garbage content on YouTube and Twitter, and just kind of like rage posting at the moment. So it's pretty funny.
Interesting. Awesome. I'd love to talk more about Catherine. So, so during COVID, me and my family travelled around. Got actually great memories of travelling through it. You guys been up to the Northern Territory at all? Yeah, I don't know. Can get in your blood maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't grow up there, right? We love Tom Curtin's show on the outskirts of town, the Catherine Outback Experience.
Oh, yes,
absolutely iconic. The thermal pools, the national parks. So I've got very good fond memories. You're probably like, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Probably a bit quiet growing up. Caitlyn.
So during COVID, it was my first year of VCE. I did not graduate with a VCE certificate just because it was hard. I was offered either I repeat year 11 because it was just too difficult for me, or if I just go into VCal and graduate that year. And I wanted out. Private Catholic school, bands out, not for me. My degree, like the actual term for my degree is the Associate's Degree of Arts, but I'm doing the criminology the criminology stream rather than the general stream because it is something I am genuinely interested in. And I chose Deakin because of the associate's degree. It doesn't require an ATAR. It just requires a personal statement, and it was super easy to just apply, and it was best choice I've made so far.
I love that. So what's the plan? So you've just sort of, how far through are you right now?
So I'm a second year now because I came in second trimester last year. So when I finish the associates, I'm planning on transferring, going to try and transfer into a double degree of criminology and forensic science because I do love science. It is a very interesting subject. And goals just either work in child protection or in forensics itself.
I love these stories. Everyone's got such different backgrounds and there's no right or wrong path. I think there's just so much pressure on young people this is the path and you've got to follow it, and it's all bullshit really. There's a million different ways to go.
There's always another way to get somewhere.
Yeah, awesome. And so tell me about what it's like to be here on campus. Maybe we start with Res, since common point of connection here is that I presume you guys are all living here, is that right? How did you end up choosing to be on campus?
I'm an international student, and while choosing a place to live after I got my offer letter and I got in Deakin, I had a big discussion with my parents to think about, because I don't have any family or any relatives or any friends here, and I was my first kid from my extended family to move out of India to come here and study. So it was a big decision to make because they wanted me to be safe and I wanted to be safe as well and feel it's somewhere that I want to be. So I was in dilemma of either to get my own rental house or move at Res. And the only affecting barrier at that point was the finances, because Res is a bit pricey for an international student, because in your head it's just the currency conversions going on and you're like, oh, it's too expensive. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. But then my parents initially insisted that no, you should live at Res. In that sense, we'll know where you are, and there would be a third person contact if we cannot contact you if something happens or whatnot because you're so far away. So I was like, all right, I'll stay here for 1 trimester or 2 trimesters and I'll see what to do. And it's been 2 years and I'm still here.
There's no better endorsement, is there?
Yeah, I don't want to go. I'm not even kidding. Res is like a second home to me now, and I didn't realize how much stress it has taken on my side, because when you're coming out to a new country, there's just so much stuff that you have to take care of, and Res just takes that half of the burden off you, even though you're paying so much, but it's justified. You have social life, you have a community you can go to, When you come back from your classes, you have people who are around. Everyone is your friend. You can approach everyone, and staff is too good. And it's just, I don't want to move out, but I have to because I'm graduating soon. So, yeah.
Just do your honors. Just stick around a little longer.
Yeah. Sponsor my studies. Sponsor my
I tried that already.
Yeah, so I think it was a hastily decision to move at Res, and it was a short-term thing. But as I started living here and I started seeing the community and the conveniences, it was just it just came to my mind. Now I'm not moving out. I'll complete my degree while I'm living here.
I love the way you've looked at that, because this is almost like everything in life, isn't it? It's like there's always a money trade-off, money, time, money, other convenience trade-off. And it's really easy just to look at the bucks and say, like, yeah, that's a lot of money. But then I love what you've just explained there with, like, all these stresses are gone, and particularly coming from overseas. I mean, I've gone and travelled and lived overseas, and it's so hard. You underestimate how hard that is. So just not to have that stress is amazing. What about the rest of you guys? What else? What brought you to Res to begin with?
I have the same background as Vaibhav, international student coming from India last year. So it was kind of the same decision which my parents wanted to take. We were also in the same dilemma, what we want to do. But my dad, he was like, nah, you got to go to Deakin Res, because I think he was like, back in his days, one of his good friends went to the US and he did not stay at a residential community. So his advice was, if your son ever goes overseas, stay at a residential community. That makes a difference. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do it. I came last year and I was like, yeah, it's going well. It's just a couple of weeks. I'm enjoying making new friends. I was like, yeah, after this year, I'll definitely move out. First year done, second year done. Next year, coming back to Res. And I feel I'm finishing my degree, staying at Deakin Res, and there's no other way. And if I had to speak something on the price point, doing a finance major, if I would say, there's not much of a difference compared to the places around. It's, if you're paying a couple of dollars extra, it's it's compensated in terms of free laundry or even events, like taking us to different trips, like 12 Apostles, Sovereign Hills, Warrnambool as well. Like, if I had to plan this trip on my own, I would spend more. So in that way, it's saving me more money.
All right, tell me more. Let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So what else is included here?
So to be honest, everything. There's, once you are in the lease, there's no bonds, and all the utilities, all facilities, as simple as laundries and dryers, everything's free.
We do one payment a month. That's
One
our bill.
yeah.
Like, that's our water bill, electricity bill, gas bill, everything. It's all there. We pay nothing else more. Sorry, apart from food. Food not included.
Adding on to that, we also have maintenance here. So if something goes, we are provided with fridges, mattresses, bed, and study tables and everything. And if something goes wrong, we can always just go to the Star Res portal, which is a Deakin Res portal. Just put in a complaint, and the next day maintenance comes in, fixes it, and just goes. And we don't have to even worry about it. So that is one of the biggest helps that Res has.
And so what was this about activities then? Activities also included, or at sort of a cost, or?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Also included. So we run a lot of events on Res. I don't even know how many I've gone to. I've been to so many, just like last year and this year alone. But I think there's only one event that we actually pay for. Like, it's our Rose Bowl, biggest event of the year. We dress up. It's like a big formal event. Meals are included. It's amazing. Absolutely 100% would recommend for anyone to go, as long as you are a Deakin residential student. But yeah, you don't get a choice in that. It is a Deakin Res event.
Now you've said it like people just coming in. Yeah. Forwards arriving at the door.
I think my most favourite events that I've definitely been to whilst being on Res is the talent shows. lots of people will come through, show off the talents. Like last year was a magic act, there were dancing acts. This year we had a stand-up comedian. And my other favorite, it was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. And an opportunity that Res actually gave me, because like I'm very into music. We had a songwriter come down and he was teaching about a group of 10 of us, like songwriting and like how to write a song properly, like with the verses and choruses, pre-verses, pre-chorus and things like that. And it's like it sets something up for someone. Like one of the people who was doing it, she's still working with him and they're looking at release, I think. And I'm going to try and start working with him over the summer and maybe release some stuff myself. I'm not sure yet, just got to see where everything leads. But Res in general, Res events just opens so many opportunities for so many students, regardless of anything. It's really, really fun.
Living on Res has given me some of the best social experiences I've ever had in my life. It has enabled me to meet completely new people, start relationships. It's helped me build myself professionally. It's been something that I can't get anywhere else. I've been living here for 3 years, and having changed my degree, I'm going to be here for another year, 2, maybe.
You look pretty happy. Yeah. To be honest.
It's a little embarrassing to talk about, to be honest. Yeah. Realistically, these are some of the people who I've met. These are some of the best people I've ever met in my life.
I'm so sorry.
Be sorry for yourself. I'm all right. Yeah. Okay.
But this is why it's so cool. I love your analogy. Like, you know, when you look at, like, from a financial point of view, it is easy to look at dollars on paper and just say, oh yeah, okay, the weekly cost, the monthly cost is X, and that's higher than what I'll pay if I take, you know, a dive rental, you know, 5 suburbs away. But then you lump all of that extra stuff in, just time. I mean,
we have great internet here. It is so fast.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yes, it messes
All
up
inclusive.
sometimes. Wait. It messes
if you're
up.
from overseas, Australia has like
Hate
some
internet.
worst internet in the developed world. So to have good internet is like...
Didn't Australia invent internet as well?
We had a hand in Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we did, and we still have the worst.
That'd be expensive as well.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, it is expensive.
But it's free.
Free at Res. Free at Res.
Free at Res.
Free Res.
Very nice. Let's talk about life more generally at Deakin. Like, what do you enjoy about this campus, this institution? So Res sounds amazing. To full disclosure here, I was never somebody that thought, oh yeah, on-campus accommodation is a good thing. And my mind shifted on it probably about 5 or 6 years ago, had these sort of conversations, and I flipped over and I was just like, yeah, this is actually a really bloody good idea. And particularly like universities that are now starting to invest. This is a fairly new facility. Yeah, this feels new. So I've been coming to Deakin for close to 2 decades, and this is relatively new. So these great facilities on campus is a relatively new innovation for Australian universities, and it's like bringing more life to the campuses, because you guys know it. You're here all the time. You live here, it's easy to access facilities and stuff like that. So I'm very pro on-campus accommodation now. But let's talk about like life at Deakin in general. Tell us about the campus, clubs and societies, other stuff you guys are involved in. Yeah, hit me up.
So, on the inner side of like Deakin itself, we have a thing called DUSA. So it's the Deakin University Student Association. It's just like a bunch of clubs. So like there's a commerce club, an esports club, there's a music club, there's like sports clubs. So like there's a little bit of everything for everyone with an interest, I guess. Like personally, I'm in the esports group. I'm actually one of the managers in the esports group, and it's just like, it's a really tight-knit community. You meet lots of people doing lots of different things. It's like Res, but like online, of course. And like a lot of the clubs also have like online presence, like in social media. And I'm also in the criminology society, and like it's a very dead society a little bit, but like it's like supportive, because like someone will like ask a question, there'll normally be a response, and like people will like help, and there's like study sessions that go on in it, and it's very nice. It's very like close knit, which is appreciated.
Esports.
Yes.
Is it like, it's huge, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
such
massive.
a massive industry that's going nuts.
I think that server has about 1,000 people in it at the moment.
Did you see that they just had the World Esports Championship? It was Korea and Taiwan, I think, in the final. Yeah, it was like big showdown. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Wait, which game was that?
League of Legends.
Ah.
Not a league fan.
No comment.
No comment.
I will not comment on League of Legends players.
But on esports, we are having PAX in Melbourne, the Comic Con kind of thing. Yeah, it's a esports convention for 3 days. It's huge.
PAX is definitely like a big, massive one. And it's not far from here.
It's in city. Yeah,
yeah,
Melbourne
like
Convention
an
Centre.
hour by
yeah.
tram, isn't it, or something like 40
Yeah,
minutes
1
by
hour.
tram?
Yeah, 1 hour.
What else are you guys involved in? Tell me
So,
more.
as we talked about DUSA, there's also a thing called community clubs, so DUSA is all about students. Students are running them, students are doing everything, but community club is where external entities come in and do stuff. So I'm part of the cricket club, and yeah, it's called Deakin Cricket Club, and I'm their social media manager, and I've been part of it for 2.5 years now. And so yeah, that's pretty good. And apart from that, do you want to share anything?
Yeah. There are a lot of clubs and societies which are on campus, and I'm involved with like Deakin Commerce Society. I'm the treasurer for that. And so clubs like Commerce Society, these kind of sort clubs are one of the biggest clubs because it's like a common degree, so a lot of students come in. And apart from that, if we don't see it academically, at Deakin, we also have like focuses on one ethnicity, like for example, an Indian club, Chinese, Sri Lankan, and stuff like that. Cultural clubs, yes, that's the right word. Cultural clubs. So I feel having cultural clubs on campus just makes us feel more, like it doesn't make us feel like we're not wanted or it's great. It's just for your festivals or anything. You learn about different cultures as well. I'm going to a festival which is hosted by the Sri Lankan Society. I've never heard about it. I've been there and it's like, oh wow, amazing food, amazing music. I've never heard about this. But just living here and studying at Deakin gave me the chance. And in compared to like the festivals which are celebrated back home, you can't always travel back. So they kind of have small gatherings, small parties and stuff which you can be a part of. So it just makes me feel like home here. And then apart from these clubs, associations and societies, there's a society called BAP, like a Beta Alpha Psi. That's like an honorary international society for the Faculty of Business and Law. It's not associated with like DUSA, it's like an international chapter associated with the US. And I think Faculty of SEBI has something called Golden Key Society. So all these are Golden Key Society, Beta Alpha Psi, all these are societies which are internationally reputed and it's all over the world. So you get to connect with people from different universities, from different countries. So that's something really great.
Apart from all of this, I would like to also tell the audience about a thing called Deakin Talent, which is all about work integrated learning and, after you graduate, your graduate employments, and not even just graduate employments, your casual employments, on-campus jobs, and it's like a employment cell. So you can go to them and they can review your resume, they can review your cover letter, they can give you advice. They do different networking events every now and then. They do panel discussions. And as giving an international student perspective, you're new to a country, you don't know what the culture is, right? You don't know the work culture, and it's totally different. So they actually help you to, ease into that culture as well. They tell you what's happening and how to approach other people, how to get jobs, and it is one of the most helpful thing that Deakin has, not just for international students but also for domestic students. That's
awesome advice, and I've definitely gotten that feeling from Deakin over the years, is that it's an institution that's done a really good job with all of the extracurriculars, so careers, leadership, international study opportunities, the clubs and societies side of things.
Yeah, just to add on to that, when it comes to international study opportunities, even though I'm an international student right now, I still have the option with Deakin. I'm actually exploring this summer to, either go on a short-term program or do like a semester abroad, or even I can do internships in different countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, somewhere. So I feel like these kind of opportunities for students, giving us a different perspective to see the world. Like you're coming from a country, you're coming from India, but you're studying in Australia and you're getting a work experience from a different other country. So it's shaping your future in a different way, and we just don't realize that.
For you guys that have come from afar, what surprised you most about landing either here in Australia or here at this institution? What were you like, either for good or for bad? Like something you went, oh wow, it's like that, fantastic, or oh my god, it's like that.
The most shocking thing would be seeing shops close at 5.
But our calls is 24/7.
Yeah, that's actually good, but it's still far away.
It's still far away.
Not everyone has a car, Caitlyn. Come on.
Sorry, I'm just better. There's also the tram
Yeah,
line.
okay.
The tram line helps
Yeah.
a lot though.
Yeah, no, yeah. One of the better things about Deakin is the public transport connectivity as well. Because I don't have a car and I've been living here for 2 years, and till date, I have never had that dire need to get a car, because tram is 10 minutes away. The nearest station is 15 minutes bus ride. The bus is right in front of Res.
We have bus stops.
Yeah, we have bus stops inside Deakin as well, so it has perfect connectivity.
And
they're-
public transport is very cheap. It's cheaper than having a car.
I mean, yeah, in the long run, it is cheaper than having a car, yes, but yeah.
My dad keeps ranting on about me taking public transport, but I refuse.
Yeah, that's good advice, because I mean, Deakin is a bit outside the city centre, so I've certainly had comments like that on the channel, people saying, "Oh, but it's a long way from the actual CBD." But well, this is also Australian cities, is it? We tend to sprawl quite a lot.
We can get to the city in as little as 40 minutes. And that's bus to Box Hill to Flinders Street Station on the train.
I mean, even if you take the tram, like early
I mean,
mornings,
early
it's
morning trams, you're
30,
looking at-
35 minutes. I've reached the city from
Yeah.
here in 30, 35 minutes max.
Yeah, the longer you wait with the trams, the longer it takes to get into the city. But yeah, it's really not that difficult to move around from where we are.
And you guys working casual jobs or anything like that in the area?
I wish.
Was it hard to find? Hard to find work here, around here?
For me, no, not personally, because I've been working in my job for like the company's job for like about almost 5 years now. So I pretty much just like, hey, I used to work in the same place, but like this way, like hire me. So, submitted a resume, had a chat with the manager who was working at the time to explain what was happening and whatnot. And I was employed maybe a month later, but I had other commitments to worry about before I actually started working. But of course, it'll differ from person to person. And look, the job's just like, because they make fun of me for having a car, but my job's like 15 minutes by car, and I start at 6 a.m. normally. I kind of need it, so yeah.
Pretty hard otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine.
You guys? Yeah.
So I came just after COVID when Australia opened its borders. So there was quite of a void in the market for jobs. So I think I work 2 jobs. One is in the library at Deakin, and the other one is in the city. It's a esports center called Fortress, and both of them I got through Deakin. So Fortress job, since it's an esports, I was part of the DESA. There was a job posting at the Discord channel of the Esports Association, and I applied through that. So that's how I came to know about the job. And for the library job, it was posted on one of the group chats in Res, because it's only a 15 minutes, or not even 15, like a 10 minutes walk from here. So they wanted people from Res, and I applied through that. So it was tough in the start because I've never had a job. People ask for your work experience, but if you haven't worked, then how are you going to get work experience? So that was pretty hard, but I think Deakin helped me there as well. So
All my jobs are at Deakin. Yeah. Literally, I just have one volunteering role in the city, so I have to travel back and forth. Apart from that, I work at the library as well. Got it through Deakin Talent. And then a couple of more jobs like student mentor and stuff. It was all posted on Deakin Talent, and that's how. So there's an option where you can go and filter the jobs as on-campus opportunities. So I recently just got another job as student experience ambassador, which I'll be starting next year. So I feel it's very convenient. One of the reasons why I like staying on Res as well. I live here, my uni is here, my work's here. So I don't have a car, so I don't need to. So I don't have to travel much. It saves me money and time. Yeah.
And working on campus pays well, doesn't
Working
it?
on campus does,
Yeah.
yes.
Definitely a
that's
good
true.
tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're coming from afar, or just working on campus in general, if you can get a
Absolutely,
campus job,
yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah, always. What would you have wished you'd known before you came here? Like, broaden that out. Like, you've come from Catherine. You guys have come
I've
from
lived
afar.
in almost every form of accommodation this place offers. I love living down in the village with 9 other people. I love living in my little shack while these guys live in their apartment buildings. Best experience ever.
So, okay, help me out here with the different types of accommodation. We're going to go and have a look around some of these afterwards, but tell me about the different options.
So we've got 3 main three main buildings, unless we want to count MD. Yeah, close enough. Three main buildings. So we've got the MB, MC, and the Village. So MB is a very convenient, like...
So when you said villages, made me think of like the Hobbit village, you know, like something.
I mean,
out
most of the people in the village are short, so yeah, Hobbit Village would be quite fitting.
That's terrible.
So the MB building, so it has...
We have three colleges: Melaleuca House, Warata, the one we are here, and the Village. And Melaleuca is studios and shared apartment. This building is just shared, and double room studios, and Village is 10 shared.
What he said, but it also has the reception in that building, so it's definitely like the central hub for like residential as a whole. MC is definitely the bigger accommodation, and like Vaibhav mentioned, it goes between 4 and 6 share, and it has the 2 share as well. There's common spaces all throughout the building as well, study rooms. It applies to both. And then the Village is always a 10-man housing situation, and then like the common space, but it's pretty large. The bedrooms are very nice, and we recently renovated as well, so like it's more fitting and more suited for students. And the biggest accommodation. And MC is the biggest housing. It holds the most people, and it's like 7 stories. MB is 6, and then Village, they have stairs, I think.
So one by one, recommendation, someone's coming to Deakin, they're choosing an accommodation, where do they stay?
It depends on what they're after. So if they want to meet a lot of people, they're very social. Village 100%, you will meet lots of people. You'll have 9 roommates, 10 total, and it's a good situation. If you don't want that, MB definitely, because there are studios in the building, or you just like want to know one person, like you can live in a 2 share and like can go MB or MC. It's really depending on what they're looking for in total, and like the room sizes do differ, depends on personal needs.
I started uni in a studio. I only ever slept in the studio. I was almost exclusively in the Village with my friends. So at a certain point, I just kind of went, I need roommates, man. This sucks. I need people around me. But I eventually ended up in a 5 share in MB, and luckily ended up with one of my close friends from high school who I'd known since I was a kid. So on that lucky little chance, that entire year was worth it. Eventually I had to kind of move around a little bit more because they're actually going to be renovating MB soon. I got the scoop from some people in power, and I thought I may as well move to the Village early and get situated and just make it comfortable, and it is so good down there.
Go on. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Recommendation?
I would agree with Caitlyn that it's depends on everybody's needs as well, because some people are so good at socializing. Like Tom said that he likes being around people, but like myself, I like being around people, but at a certain point I also want my own space. So I live in a studio. So we have social spaces, we have common rooms, so I just go there. I can go to my friend's room, sit down with them, but if my social battery's down, I'll just go back to my room, be in my safe space. So it's every person's own perspective.
But no matter what you put it, you always have like your own personal space, because the bedrooms are separate. So we have key fobs. That fob is only access, like the only access it has is, of course, the surrounding buildings like common spaces, and your apartment front door and your bedroom door. That is all it will open. So your roommates can't get in, you can't get into your roommates like bedrooms and stuff. It's prospectively, like it's completely safe, and you will have your own personal space regardless.
I've always lived in a shared accommodation, and I feel I'm a bit different in that way. I would not like to live in a studio, even if my social battery is down or something like that. We do have personal rooms in shared accommodations as well. I'd rather stay in a shared accommodation with 2 or 3 more other people, so that you just get to know them better. You tend to develop more stronger friendships with them. So I would recommend a shared apartment, and I would recommend MC because I'm staying here for the last 2 years, and the vibe's good, and our kitchen is like fully within a glass door, so no fear of fire alarms.
Love it.
Another thing that I want to mention after your comment about safety, we forgot to tell you about Deakin Security, which is a 24/7 thing. So we have an app called Safe Zone. Yep. Yeah, and you can, if you're at the premises anywhere on campus, you can just alert them saying you're in distress or you need someone. You can call them, and they even do escort services. So if you're feeling a bit anxious about walking from tram stop to your residences or your car park or anywhere on campus, you can just ring them and tell them that, yeah, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. Can somebody from security can be with me till I walk to the rest? So it makes you feel more safer. I've used this once because I had a bad encounter with one of the junkies and I was pretty scared for a week or so. But I've used this once and I would highly recommend it because they're always there. They chat with you. Security is nice and it makes you feel more safer on campus.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, Australia in general is very safe, particularly like suburbans. Australia is very safe, but I think having those options there is essential. Particularly, I mean, like I'm a white male, I've got less to worry about than an 18-year-old girl, So, I think that counts for a hell of a lot of unis that do that stuff well. So good on them. Last question, guys, for each of you: a secret tip, something that you've discovered at this. It could be at Res. It could be at this institution, something that nobody knows about. So at my uni, I went to Macquarie Uni up in Sydney. You could climb over this wall at the uni bar and like climb along this ledge and you had the best view in the whole university. So we would buy our beers at lunchtime, climb over the wall and then go and sit up on top of the roof and, watch the lake. That was like the secret spot. What's your secret? It could be anything, right? It could be a place, it could be an activity, it could be a human, like, an amazing person who works at the library that you got to know because they can help you with all your resources. One tip that somebody watching this should really know about Deakin or the Res.
If you're thinking of moving to Res, please bring pots and pans and your kitchenware and like sheets and bedding and stuff. Res doesn't supply anything above like a bed, a desk and a chair. So the rest is up to you. Thankfully, you don't have to bring your own microwave, which is quite nice, I will say. And it does come with a toaster, also pretty nice. But you got to bring your own stuff, pretty much. Because there have been plenty of, like, my international roommates were like, where are the pots and pans? Where do I get pots and pans? And I had to tell them, oh, we have to buy them ourselves. We have to bring them from home or, like, buy them ourselves. And they're like, what? It's on the packing list. But definitely read the packing list.
There's a good tip. Read the packing list.
Read the packing list.
Nice.
And also you don't need clothes pegs. I don't think.
Secret tip.
Secret tip, a place. Good discovery.
Yes, please. More time. Come back to me.
Best food place. Best place for coffee. Oh, there we go. We ripped off the bandage. We found it.
On campus, yeah, we have good. How many cafes do we have? 5, 6? We have 6, yeah. So we have 6 cafes to choose from, which are all over the campus. So you're never like 2-3 minutes of walk away from a cafe, and all of them serve really good coffees. But my favorite is Fusion because it's nearby. But yeah, and one of my I don't know if it's a secret tip or not, but I really like to go. There's a creek right there, so it's like a 5 minutes walk from here, and it goes on. It's 4 kilometers.
Gardener's Creek.
Yeah, Gardener's Creek. Yeah. And is it a 4 kilometers?
It's a good.
whole
That's a
It's
really
about
good
4
tip.
kilometers.
Yeah, so
trip.
sometimes I get overwhelmed, and if I want to unwind myself, I just go for a walk. And the only thing is the convenience, right? Because it's just right there. So I don't have to think twice. I just get out of my room and I just go for one lap, and I'm back and I'm refreshed. And yeah, if you're coming to Res or you're at Deakin, you can go for a walk, and it's a good spot.
Excellent. Great suggestion.
I was just going to say, like, it is a very nice little place. It's public land. It's like, oh, yeah, it's land. Everyone can go on it. Like, you'll get to pet the occasional dog, which is quite fun. And, like, I just, like, every other day, I like just to go for a run down there. And it's just really nice, relaxing. And it's just, it's very, very, it does get quiet. And, like, you'll actually find yourself, like, running under the Lincoln Bridge. Yeah, so, like, you'll walk under you'll often, like, if you do the full path, you'll go under the Lincoln Bridge. And it's actually, like, that's quite literally, so like Lincoln Bridge would be here, residential campus, and then the academic campus, like the proper campus, and like you're very in between, and it's a very nice place to go.
Don't underestimate just how much support there is around you, especially living on Res, where there are people here who their entire job description is to help you with campus life. Support is available whenever you need it. You can book appointments, you can walk in. If they're busy, they'll probably ask you to wait for a little bit, understandably so. They've got lots of stuff going on. But realistically, they will make every effort to help you, and they will carry you across the finish line if they have to.
That's exceptional advice. and particularly for people who might be coming from overseas, maybe from cultures where it's more conservative and there's not so much a culture of reaching out for help. But here in Australia, that's really changed a lot in the last 20 years. It's completely okay, in fact encouraged to reach out for help with whatever you might be struggling with. Great suggestion, love it.
I had a similar secret tip as well. But I would say in 3 words, like ask for help. And I think if circling back to the previous question, what was one thing which you knew before when you came to Deakin or something, I would say ask for help. No one is judging you for whatever kind of question you ask them, be it in terms of accommodations or the people who work here, as Tom mentioned. They're here for you always. And for Deakin, for a very long time, I was like, I don't know if Deakin Talent, they have those resume workshops. They have people who go through your resumes and stuff. I was like, I don't know. What if they tell me, you have the shittiest resume in the world? But I was like, let's just book an appointment. Let's see what happens. So everyone's very welcoming. And even with your course map or anything, or as simple as unit shares, I was very hesitant to send an email saying, hey, I'm so sorry, but is it possible that we have during consultation Zoom sessions when we have assignments and exams? I used to go for it, but I was like, I don't know, should I ask for help? Should I ask this question? But then slowly I realized you should. It's gonna take you to different places. And one more secret tip would be, when you don't have a car, Deakin has a lot of rental cars around the campus.
Is that right?
So if you're an overseas student, you can just make an account I think you can make the account for free, and
it's just like GoGet or something like that, like one of those short-term.
It's a flexi car. Yeah.
Flexi car.
It's pretty cheap. You can book there. You can go wherever you want. So that's a great facility as well.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. It's really generous of you, and I'm sure that this advice is going to be extremely valuable for people who are coming from all over the place, whether they're living here in Melbourne already, or coming from elsewhere in Australia, or coming from elsewhere in the world. Your advice is really valuable to them. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you're watching this, choosingyouruni.com is where you can find all of the content that we put out, whether that's videos, podcasts, worksheets. It's all designed to be independent content to help you find the right institution for you. See you sometime in the future. Have a great day. What the fuck was that? I don't know what just happened.
Don't cut that. Keep it in.
Awesome.